good morning across the domain.
And welcome to Lotus.
Lotus, linking others to unify Shrinedom. Now, Jackie, can you believe it's been a year? This is our 1-year anniversary that
Yes, it
Lotus
is.
have been coming to you all live and direct.
Man, up close and personal, yes.
Yes. First and foremost, I want to thank our Imperial Potentate for allowing us to get to this point where we are in order for us to do what we do. We want to thank you all for coming and supporting us for what we do. We want y'all to continue to support us and things, but wow, I'm just overwhelmed and stuff and thankful for us being able to make this milestone and being here a 1 year. Now we coming to you more and more now. So
absolutely. Well, just to let you know, again, Lotus is back. We will continue to connect you to the leaders in this organization up close and personal. No fez, no collars, just straight candid conversation. We will also continue to connect you to nobles and daughters across the domain that are doing extraordinary things in their community.
Yes. And I'm your host, Jerome, aka Lollipop, and I ain't no sucker. Alpha Root Temple number 145, Oasis of Columbus, Desert of Georgia. Georgia strong, baby.
All right, he's not a sucker. We did hear that. And I am your co-host, daughter Jacque Netherland. I am out of Mula Court number 22, the Oasis of Memphis, Desert of Tennessee. The Oasis of Memphis is also the home of our Imperial headquarters, where we're under the direction of Noble John T. Chapman and the 49th Imperial Commanderess, daughter Paulette Brown. And by the way, I am AKA Powder Puff the Clown.
Who you with?
Moolah.
All right, now today's show is being sponsored by none other than the Book Bag Program. Now, for those that have been coming to Imperial Session, know that for years we've been taking and going over to different schools in the community to donate 500 book bags. Now, this year we're going to do something a little bit different. We want to take it to another level, and we want you to take and donate $5, just $5. Now, if you see down in that bottom corner there, there's a QRS code. So what I want y'all to do is do like what I'm about to do. I'm about to take and scan this QRS code, take a picture of it, and then it's going to take you to the Prince Hall Shriners Foundation page. Now, on that page, it has where you can donate to the book bag program, the HBCU initiative, as well as to our national program. But for today, I want you to push that first one right there. It says donate, and donate those $5, which I am doing right now. I got my name filled out, so I want y'all to take and donate as well. Now, I'm gonna give you 5 seconds in order to get your phone, your tablet, or whatever, in order to scan that code, in order for you to donate with us and stuff, okay?
Absolutely. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you for all that did pledge today. My pledge is done. If you would like for the Lotus Show to market your event, please send in your 30-second video or flyer to PR@aeaonms.org. Again, PR@aeaonms.org. And we'll be happy to market your event.
Yes, we most definitely will. Now, go to our page and take and like, comment, subscribe, and share. Now, you just don't share it within our organization, share it outside of our organization. We know what we do here, but we want others to know what we do as well. So
absolutely,
like, comment, subscribe, and share. Now, with that being said, it's come that time of the show where we want you to take and put your temple and court in the chat pane so we can take and shout you out. It's time to rep your set, rep your court.
Rep your set. Who you with? Who you with? All All right, good morning from daughter Chandra McKenna, the illustrious commandress of Moolah Court number 22. Who you with? Moolah. Represent.
We got Kimmy T. Good morning, everyone, from daughter Kimberly Trimble, Alabama Court, 75 Oasis of Columbus, Desert of Ohio.
Next, we have the honorary past Imperial Potentate, Vernell White Jr., Deputy of the Desert Country of Texas. Okay.
What up there? What up there? We got Sharon McGrew Winslow.
What's happening?
Good morning from I.C. Sharon Winslow, Nubia Court 190, Oasis of Killeen, Country of Texas. All right.
Next, we have, daughter McKenna again, representing Moolah, Deuce Deuce.
We have daughter Kenya Terry. Okay. We got the first lieutenant commanders out of Omar Court, number 91, Oasis of Savannah, Desert of Georgia. Georgia strong, baby. Georgia strong.
Today on the Lotus Show, we will be spotlighting two nobles and two daughters for a discussion on Shrinedom. For the daughters, we have honorary past Imperial Commandress, daughter Anna Howell. She's out of Orr Court. She's out of the Oasis of El Paso, Desert of Texas. And we have honorary past Imperial Commandress, daughter Daisy Lewis. She is out of Alabama Court, number 75, Oasis of Columbus, Desert of Ohio. Welcome to Lotus.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How y'all doing this wonderful day?
Yes.
It's a great day.
And on the noble side, we
also have, from the nobility side, we have Noble Art Brown from Ahmed Temple, number 37, out of Oasis of Tallahassee, Desert of Florida. AB.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We also have none other than Past Potentate Kelvin Walton out of, he gonna come with you and tell you the name of the Oasis, but I'm telling you, he's out of Mizar Temple out of Desert of Maryland. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. The Oasis of Accokeek.
Well, while you saying that, go ahead and introduce yourself while you starting out then.
Good morning, everyone. Past Potentate Kelvin Walton from Mizar Temple number 213, Oasis of Accokeek, Desert of Maryland.
Okay. Noble Brown, introduce yourself.
Good morning. My name is Noble Art Brown from the mighty Ahmed Temple, Oasis of Tallahassee, Desert of Florida.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
Then we have daughter Lewis.
Daughter Lewis is from Alabama Court number 75, Oasis of Columbus, Desert of Ohio.
Is that your daughter in the background? Hey.
Yeah, you're right. She's helping me to get on this show. She's been wonderful. And her name is Kimberly Pittman Trimble.
Okay, well, thank you for helping her out this morning.
Yeah, she's been just wonderful. She came early this morning to get this set up, and she even made me some breakfast. So you can't beat all that.
No, ma'am.
Oh, you sharing?
Pardon?
You sharing breakfast?
Yeah. She brought her own. Believe it or not, she didn't trust me to have any breakfast. She brought her own. When she saw how pitiful I looked with no breakfast, she made me some.
All right.
And we have
daughter Howell. Introduce yourself.
Good morning. I'm honorary past Imperial Commandress Anna M. Harris Howell, and I hail from the Orr Court number 20, the Oasis of El Paso, and the mighty Desert of Texas.
Outstanding. Okay, the first question is going to be a panel question. That means each of you will provide a response to the question.
Okay. So with that being said, we want y'all to tell us a little bit about you ourselves and stuff. We're going to start, since we started out with K-Walk, we're going to go back to K-Walk. Tell us a little bit about yourself, a little history, so people can know who you are and why you're here today.
All right. Born and raised in Macon, Georgia. I'm a Dogs fan. Go Dogs. When I left high school, went to the Marine Corps. That's the United States Marine Corps. After the Marine Corps, did some time in law enforcement. Since then, I've essentially retired from communications and now just enjoying my retirement life. Love my temple, love my court, and I appreciate everyone in the shrine.
All right. Well, thank you for that. Next up, we'll have Daughter Howell.
Yes, I'm originally from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I was a military brat and ended up in Kansas. I joined the Women's Army Corps in 1971. It later changed to the U.S. Army. I served 5 years in Europe and traveled all over Europe and loved it. I was a foster parent for 4 years, fostered 39 kids and children, special need children in Kansas. And then I moved to the great state of Texas. I joined the Daughters in September 83 in Oasis 44 of Topeka, Kansas. And I demitted to El Paso to oral court and been there ever since.
Wow. Well, how many children have you fostered? That's amazing.
Well, a total of 44, and the last one was adopted on the 7th of January, 2022.
Wow, thank you. Amazing. What a way to give back to your community and help children in need. Thank you.
All right, all right.
You're welcome.
Next, we're going to bring before you, out of the mighty Ahmed Temple, AB. Come on down.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Noble Brown. Like my fellow Noble, I am a Marine Corps veteran, but also a product of the #1 HBCU in the country, Florida A&M University. I'm a certified grant writer and certified fundraising executive. Currently, I serve as a healthcare manager for Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare and also liaison to the Florida Senate Health and Human Services Committee as well. Very active in my temple, love Shrine, but overall is willing to help any and every nonprofit organization that needs assistance within grant writing and fundraising.
Okay. All right, thank you. Next up, we'll have Daughter Lewis.
My name is Daughter Lewis, and I have been a member of the Shrinedom since 1971. I have been a commandress of Alabama Court, and I served as the Imperial Director of ISIS training for many, many years. And that was where my heart was, because I like teaching and training. I worked for the federal government, and I traveled all over the world training and in a training program. You probably know my husband. He was the Imperial advisor to the daughters, Daughter Noble Kenneth E. Lewis, who recently retired from that job. I have served as the training director for the daughters for many, many years, up until Daughter Jacqueline Arredondo came into office and I retired. But I'm still involved with my court. I enjoy the fellowship that you have. One of the best things that ever happened to me in my life was when I became involved with Masonic orders. The best things. I have known and met hundreds and hundreds of people whom I would never have known had I not been involved with the wonderful order that we have, especially our Shrinedom.
Thank you. Outstanding.
51 years, man. Shoot.
A lot.
About as long as I've been living.
They've been wonderful years. I've been blessed beyond all I would ever dream. Blessed beyond, you can't tell you how blessed I have been. God has smiled on me, and I'm grateful.
Yes.
Okay.
We do appreciate the impact that each one of you have given to this organization. We do see you all as being outstanding nobles and daughters in this organization. And that's why you were selected to be a part of today's show. So we're looking forward to hearing more as the show continues.
Okay. So I want you all, those in audio, in the audience, out there in virtual land, put your questions, comments that you want to take, and put them in the chat pane so we can take in and ask our guests as well. So with that being said, we're gonna have another panel question, and this panel question is: how has Shrinedom grown or changed since you were created, and what do you want your legacy to be?
Let's start with daughter Daisy Lewis.
It has changed, and I'm concerned, very concerned about it. When I first came into the order and joined Alabama Court number 75, we had over 100 members. Now that number has been reduced considerably. I know that some of it is because of the pandemic we're suffering, but I'm concerned because I feel we're losing people. Our younger people are finding other things to do, and I don't know what we can do to draw them back. We've had that problem in our court when people join and they're there for 10 months or so and they leave, and we never get them back. So that's what my mission is, to draw these young people in and hopefully have something that we can keep them. And that's what I want to do.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
Okay. So this same question goes to AB, Art Brown. So same question, how has Shrinedom grown or changed since you've been in, and what do you want your legacy to be?
I think I've seen a paradigm shift within Shrine over the last several years. If you look at more organizations that are doing duplicative services, such as the Shrine, so folks have options. One thing that I've seen specifically in the Deep South, as far as what makes the Shrine stand out, why should I join to be a Shrine? But also, if you look at membership requirements, you have a lot of good quality brothers who may want to become members because of the issues that you may have with the Masonic order. That poses a challenge to have good quality members in coming to our organizations. The other side of that is, as our daughter said, as far as you have things as far as the pandemic that overall has reduced our membership over the last couple of years. But more importantly, just looking at as far as quality versus quantity, what makes us who we are, where we're going, but no particular vision or no particular 5-year plan. You know, as far as what is, how do we get from good to great? Is this particular organization going to continue to be a BlackBerry, or are we going to be an iPhone to overall adjust, adapt, overcome, and change with the times? Sometimes you have certain deserts may overall be stuck with tradition. Traditions are okay, but sometimes you have to adopt with the times. Otherwise, you're going to be a dinosaur. Some people embrace change, some people don't. But until we actually have a uniform platform that has a 5-year strategic or 10-year strategic plan, I think that's going to be the thing that's going to take us to another level where we'll attract more folks to say, hey, we don't have to go and seek a particular member. Folks are beating down our doors to actually become a member. And I think those are the kind of things you'll see disparities between temples and courts, those that overall embrace that particular change, looking for innovative ways to actually grow and adapt and become the greatest that they can be in their respective oases.
Okay.
Thank you for that response. Very, very impactful. You're right. Innovation is definitely needed for change. Must have a strategic plan, 3, 5, 10 year, as well as going with innovation. The BlackBerry to the iPhone was a great analogy. Thank you for that. Next up, we'll have daughter Howell.
Over the years, I've seen a decrease in membership. The young people are finding other things to do instead of coming to our organization. We used to be excited when we joined the daughters. We looked forward to joining the daughters. We looked up to the mentors and the people that led us. And somewhere down the line, it seems like our young people are finding other organizations to join. And I watch other organizations grow and ours decrease. We just need to change our strategy as how we're going to bring them in. We don't want just anyone to come in. We want people that's going to be excited about the things we do and excited about the charities and the giving that we put our hearts in and say that we want to do. Charity was the bottom, the base, and we need to get back to the true charity and work in our communities and show the people what we're doing, the positive things we're doing, and not kill each other, love each other. Hopefully we can grow. We can come back to the senses that we are one, the nobles and the daughters. I never forget my godmother and my godfather. When I seen them march at their ball, I was so honored to see that and to see the love and to see the togetherness. And over the years, it has died. And we just need to get back to basics and bring our organization back to what it used to be for. And when we say we're sisters and brothers, be those sisters and brothers and do not defy each other and do not argue, because other people hear us. We don't think they do, but they hear us when we're out in the community. We need to talk positive, not negative.
Okay. Outstanding. So K-Walt, same way. On you. Your thoughts on this here subject.
All right. I think I've seen it decline. And I'll say that because I can remember back in the day where we used to always want to be, well, I'm not going to say we. I used to always want to be that noble that people say, you know what? That dude always sharp, or that dude, always keep us laughing, or, that dude always make things fun. Because that really wanted people to be around. Okay, Walt going to be at this event or whatever. We know we're going to have a good time. Not saying that, I was the reason why they came, but when they did come, I had that hospitality that, you paid whatever to come to this event. I'm going to make sure it's a good event. I don't see that anymore. I see it now as, and I'm not speaking during the pandemic, but I see it now where, you expect people to come. And I used to always say, I support who support me, right? And when I say that, who supports my temple? If we go out of our way to go to wherever, reciprocate that and return the favor. I don't see that anymore. I see it now where people have these events and they automatically assume that people are going to show up. I think we need to get back to the original foundation where, we have the benevolence and then we have the charity. We do the charitable events, but I don't think we do them in abundance as we used to.
Right.
I can remember when I got sick at one time, I was supposed to stay home for like a week or two, but I had temple meeting like a day after I got out of the hospital. Guess where I went? To the temple meeting, because that's just how much I love my temple. And one more thing, I'm gonna leave it at this. And wait, can I see who's in the chat so I don't get us in trouble? No. But I can remember too where nobles used to practice camel walk.
Oh.
Because we didn't want to be embarrassed when we went to such and such temple or such and such court.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and I'll try to remember this isn't one of my live broadcasts, but let's just say, we got to get back to looking like we're supposed to look, and I'll leave it at that.
Understand. And thinking about going back to the time that you had your health issues and stuff. You were the potentate at the time, weren't you?
No, actually, I was Arab.
Okay, Arab. Okay, and I remember how people wrapped their arms around you and supported you, and you still came out there, even with your issues, I still saw you out there not letting that hold you back and stuff. So truly understand and stuff. So I appreciate your love and dedication for the order and stuff. But also for our guests, for our audience, don't forget to put your temple and court down there so we can shout you out. And don't forget to take and put your questions out there as well. So now this here is a planet question, and I'm gonna go back to Art for a minute. I know that you said that you do grant writing and you help nonprofit organizations and stuff. What advice would you give someone that is trying to get sponsorship in their area?
One of the first things that every temple and court they should be active not only in the community. If they're active in the community, they should be part of the business community. And what I mean by that, if you are actually a part of an organization, the companies that you work for, at a minimum, they should be supporting you. For example, how many temples and courts have a bank or have an account with a bank or credit union? And if they do, which everyone should, at a minimum, that should be your first sponsor. And you'll be surprised. Well, I've been surprised, but just by my travels, to hear that their banks and their credit unions aren't supporting them as a sponsor or any event. Being involved in the business community, being active with the Chamber of Commerce, those are potential partners for those temples and courts, because you have a sense of relationship with various sectors, whether it's public relations, whether it's finance, whether it's legal. Because the fact that when you develop those relationships, sometimes you can get free service or free consultation to assist and help grow that particular organization on the right course. We have some talented folks within our organizations, but sometimes we just don't tap into it because either we don't know what their expertise is or necessarily their passion. But more importantly, sometimes we're just afraid to ask. One of the things I ask every organization, not just Shrine or within our auxiliary, do you want to be continue to work as a Black business, or do you just continue to work as a business? Because the fact that businesses recognize charitable endeavors, they want to grasp and be a part of that. Because if you're doing well with their sponsorship, they're going to do well. So it's a long-term investment, whether it's in-kind services or financial reward back to that particular hosting organizations. As a nonprofit organization, there are tons of grants that are out there on the local, state, and federal level. Many of our organizations don't know about it. And because of that, that money is usually lost. A lot of times that other organizations, white organizations, they get it because of the fact that they utilize a minority aspect just by utilizing a female, because there might be money that's designated for youth, might be designated for minorities. And because of the fact that, again, our lack of knowledge, we actually lose out on not just thousands, but hundreds of millions of dollars nationally. Just because of we don't have that particular infrastructure in place to have true fundraising to attain us. A lot of our organizations, still rely on balls. They still rely on car washes. Some parties, but at the same time, just think how much easier it would be as far as we partner with the business communities in various sectors to make our job that much easier, and also to give our brand a recognition. Because the fact that you would be surprised in 2022, how many organizations just on the local level, you have a temple or court celebrating a 50, 75, 100-year organization, and somebody says, I didn't know there were Black Shriners in my area, or I didn't know you existed. It's really a wake-up call to say, hey, from the fundraising perspective, if you're actually, it's a win-win, it's a partnership.
Absolutely.
You're out there, like I said, if we're truly charitable, someone's going to see what you're doing.
Absolutely. So thank you for sharing your viewpoint on that, because you hit on a lot of great points. Next, we're going to have Daughter Howell. Daughter Howell, I want to say congratulations on 39 years of being a daughter. You were deputy
Thank
for the
you.
Desert of Texas for 16 years before
Yes.
being the first aide to the past Imperial Commandresses Council. So tell us a little bit about what was it like to support the past Imperial Commandresses Council?
Well, actually, I'll go back because I was the first aide to the past Imperial Commandresses under past Imperial Commanders Junior. I learned so much from them sitting at their feet. They were always willing to teach you. If you asked them questions, they would tell you. They shared a lot of information with you. And I am now back working with them again. And I really, really enjoy it. They're our queens. I call them our queens because they have so much knowledge they can pass on. And they never should be forgotten for their service because it took them a long time to get to that position. Mm-hmm. And then they served faithfully. So I work with Wilhelmina Means and Dorothy Shelton and Ann Bolden. And if you look at the history in the history, you'll see their names and you'll hear their names in the different departments. I don't think there was nothing more rewarding than that. Even serving 16 years as the deputy for the desert, the most rewarding job I had is serving them and being their aide. And as long as I'm able to serve, I'll be happy and to serve them.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
All right. So switching over to PASA. So you coming out of Macon, Georgia. Bulldogs fan, congratulations. I tilt my hat to you. I know how to eat a piece of humble pie since I'm being a Roll Tide fan and stuff. So, but coming out of Macon, Georgia, joining the Marine Corps, as well as being in the Shrine, how can you say life, how have you been shaped in life by going through these trials and tribulations in order to make you the man that you are today?
I can say that in Marine Corps, it taught us to adapt and overcome. So when you deal with adversity, when it teaches you how to deal with adversity, and then when speaking of the Shrine, I can remember, when I got jumped in the Shrine, when my seat got taken. I think I was a first ceremonial master, trying to go to the next step, and I got jumped. Now, did I quit? No, I didn't quit because the Marine Corps taught me to own up to what I've done. And at that time, I was one of the ones that if I went out Friday night, I didn't want to get up Saturday morning and go to the temple meeting. Guess what? I didn't go to temple meeting. So I couldn't be mad when those senior nobles said, no, sit back for a little bit and just wait your turn. And that taught me a lot, right? That made me the noble that I am today. But no, honestly, it taught me a lot. And that kind of groomed me for the next step. And, going back to that United States Marine Corps, that instilled that discipline that once you start something, you see it out and you finish it.
Okay. And now we'll have daughter Lewis.
Yes.
Daughter Lewis, we want to say thank you for 51 years of being a daughter. That is truly amazing. You were an integral part of the daughters training during session for 15 years. That training is now called ICE under the leadership of daughter Joycelyn. So when you were a part of the daughters training, what was the most rewarding part about that role?
Well, it was like throwing the rabbit in the briar patch because that's my forte. I thoroughly enjoyed teaching and training. It was what I did for a living. I traveled all over the world training, especially when we got into the era of having computers and what have you. And I just recently finally decided it was time to hang up my teaching, and I told Dr. Arredondo that I wanted to be replaced. Dr. Howell was on my committee for a short time, but it was what I loved to do. It was not a chore. It was what I loved to do. Even not just with children or young people, which I work very hard with. We have an organization here in Columbus called FACE, Friends of the Arts for Community Enrichment. Mm-hmm. And I have worked with that organization, giving scholarships to young people who probably may not have been able to go to college if it had not been for the Friends of the Arts for Community Enrichment. I enjoy doing that. I also enjoy every year, I would be looking forward to going to Imperial, and we would have planned what we were going to present for that year. And believe it or not, the workshop for the daughters, which is at 6 o'clock in the morning. I always thought people were insane to get out of bed and come to a workshop at 6 o'clock in the morning, but they did. Mm-hmm. And the workshop grew and grew, and we were getting over 200 people at our workshop, and some of it was standing room only. So I have enjoyed this. That's been one of the best things that has happened to me in my life, is my connection with the Daughters of ISIS and being put in a position where I can do my thing that I love most, teach and train others.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for that response. Getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning is challenging. So to have a standing room only training is pretty phenomenal. It's time, y'all, for the Who You With segment of the show. So drop those simples and quarts in the chat pane and let us give you a shout out. Here we go.
All right. We got Jerome. Hey, we got our guys on there. Good morning from the desert of South Carolina, Menzel Temple. What's going on, good sir?
Good morning. Good morning. We have Jocelyn Walker from Alabama Court, number 75. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Woodruff Kirk, yes, what's up, man? Out of Zora Temple, out of Jackson, Tennessee.
Zora Temple, thank you for tuning in. Good morning from daughter Lemon Everett, past commander of Amen Court number 195, Imperial Deputy for the Oasis of Darien, Desert of Georgia, Georgia Strong. Thank you for tuning in.
Facebook user, daughter Anna Sims out of Swackham Court. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. We have Arkbar Court number 33 in the house. Springs out of the Oasis of Springsfield, Desert of Ohio. Thank you for tuning in.
Buckeye. Out of Alizar Court 181, we have Cynthia D. May Pringle. Welcome and thank you. Thank you,
daughter Pringle, for tuning in. We have Auza Court, number 63, Oasis of Somerville, Desert of Tennessee. Way to represent Desert of Tennessee. Thank you for tuning in.
We have good morning, daughter Wendy Barrow, past commander Dee Barack Court. What's going on? Georgia Strong in the house today.
Yes, Georgia Strong. The next question is going to come from Noble Walton. Noble Walton, is there something we haven't asked you that you want to share with the Lotus audience?
There's something
about yourself?
Is there something that you haven't asked me that I want to share with the audience?
Yes.
You got to be careful how you ask him that question now.
Well, no, I mean, let me look at this. Comment section. No, no, there isn't a question that wasn't asked. I think it was very informative, and I just want us to get back to, the foundation and making this organization strong.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
What? A man of few words?
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I gotta remember where I'm at, right? I gotta remember where I'm at. No, but I don't want to embellish on the bad, because there is good. I just wish that we would get back to loving each other. When we first take that obligation, I wish that we would start taking it a little bit more seriously. And that's all I had. Was that enough?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's Jesus calling on the main line. Hey, okay. So, daughter Lewis, I know that you are very inspirational as far as helping kids. So, what was your driving force in order for you to take and want to adopt and take in so many children the way that you have?
Well, I have done this all my life. I've been on every kind of club here in Columbus, Youth Service Guild, and what have you. And even to now, every year for the Herons of Jericho, I'm the chairman of for finding children to help. For FACE, I've been the chairman for our scholarship fund for many, many years. It's just my forte. I enjoy doing it. And we've helped a number of young people who would not have been able to go to college if it had not been for our organizations like FACE and the Herons of Jericho, and it's what I like to do. Everybody has something that they thoroughly enjoy doing. And that's what I like to do. Every year in January, I send out my letters to the various high schools asking them to supply me with their good students so that we can reward them with a scholarship. But here's the thing that really gets me. You send the letters out, you ask them to reply, and here's money that they could have. And some of them are so, I don't know whether it's lazy or lackadaisical or what it is, they won't even apply to get the money that we're trying to give them. We had 4 students that we chose to receive $1,000 and one of them $1,500. I sent them the letters. I told them they'd been accepted. I told them they need to send me documentation to show that they had been accepted at the college they said they were going. Would you believe that 2 of them, I called them twice, begging them to send in their documentation so I could give them the check? And would you believe even now, after January and October, I still have 2 of them who not responded. And I called them twice, begging them to send in the documentation so I could send them the check. And the checks are already written. The treasurer has written the checks. All that we want to know is, are you enrolled in college, the college you said you would? And these 2 people have still not replied.
Oh, wow.
It's
unbelievable. It is unbelievable. I think it's really great that you give back the way you do in the community and helping at-risk kids. And the fact that it's, when you're giving money away and children don't want to give you what you need to pay them, to give, award them, that's a problem. Change is definitely needed. The next question is for Daughter Howell. Daughter Howell, your motto is, if I look to my left, right, and behind me, and my daughters are not with me, I am not doing my job. Can you share with the Lotus audience what your motto means?
It's typical about leadership. When I was the deputy, I wanted the daughters to understand it wasn't about me. The desert wasn't about me. It was them as well. And I could not lead without having their support and having them with me and working with me in unity. So I would always tell them that if I look to my right, if I look to my left and behind me, and I don't see you, then I'm not doing the leadership that I should be doing. So to me, that's a strong point in leadership. And we as leaders need to understand we cannot do it ourselves. There's nothing we can do as a leader if we don't have the body with us. We need to have them supporting us, standing beside us, and being behind us, pushing us to go even higher. So to me, that's a good technique of leadership.
Absolutely. Motivating, inspiring, and helping them to evolve is definitely an important key to leadership. Absolutely.
All right. And AB,
Yes, sir.
I know you mentioned about the thing that you're doing. So what is it that you would like people to know about AB, who Art Brown is, besides he went to the second best HBCU school behind the Alabama State Marching Hornets and stuff. What would you like people to know about you, and would you be willing to assist others as far as doing grant writing or trying to get their foundation up on the ground running?
Yes, I will. And let me start by saying, according to the U.S. News and World Report, Alabama wasn't ranked in the top 10 for HBCUs. FAMU is the number one, and also by Princeton Review as well. So let me start with that. Before we can do anything, I think that any organization, whether you're looking for fundraising or grant writing, has to have a set of core values, understanding what your mission and vision is. And so that way you can make sure you apply those dollars for a true meaningful purpose. Looking at the integrity, the compassion, accountability, and a few other core values, just to define not just who the organization on the local subsidiary is, but also how you adapt within your particular community. There have been several temples that I have assisted and will assist anybody, not just Temple to Court, but any nonprofit organization that needs some assistance in far as identifying grants, helping them. Could I do grant writing workshops throughout the East Coast, or some of my other organizations that overall can get in touch with them nationally as well. I'm the same way with fundraising as well. But I think it's one thing that anybody would know, that I'm always willing and able to serve. It's not necessarily about a title. It's about advancing the organization, because when you can advance us individually, we advance us as a whole.
Okay. Appreciate that. All right. So we're going to take a couple questions from the audience, from those out in virtual land. And the first question comes to us from Woodrow Kirkpatrick. If a new member has an idea for a fundraiser and has the means to do the said fundraiser, and their idea or ideas keep getting shot down time after time, even when he tweaks the idea, what is he supposed to do? So I'm gonna take that question right there real quick. So probably you need to have a conversation with whoever is shooting that fundraiser down or that idea down, and see what their vision is. And maybe if y'all can take and sit down and work it out and talk prior to the meeting and get a said understanding, maybe you can get that fundraiser or idea, whatever you have, pushed throughout your temple and stuff.
Okay. The next question. Okay. The next question is, some of the things I hear from new members are that there's too much mess and too much competition within the order. Daughter Howell, can you answer that question?
My short answer, yes, it is. It's a lot of mess. It's a lot of mess. It's a lot of competition. Everybody wants to wear a collar, but they don't want to earn it.
Okay.
When I came in, I didn't even know anything about a collar. I seen them. I didn't know what they meant. All I wanted to do was be a good daughter and work in the community and serve other people. I think like I said, that we're forgetting about what we are supposed to be doing. And if we work together and encourage our young people and train them and bring them up, because we all get older and someone has to take our place. So we need to encourage our young people to be involved and let them be involved, but teach them the right way and teach them the right things and show them that it's worth being a part of this organization. It's an honor.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Would any of the other panelists like to answer this question? Noble Walton, Brown.
What was the question again?
Put the question back on the screen, please. The question is, some of the things I hear from new members are that there's too much mess and too much competition within the order.
All right. As far as the competition, I don't think there's nothing wrong with friendly competition. I mean, that makes everything, you and everyone around you, better, because you're putting your best foot forward rather than sitting back and just letting things go. As far as the mess, I won't, and I gotta watch. Yeah, I know. I don't want to say mess, but there is a lot of stuff that we can do differently. And yes, there is a lot, but I think maybe if you see mess, see things happen, go and talk to that person. Say, hey, did you really have to do it that way? Or, maybe there's another way you could have said that. And me, myself, I have problems with that. But that's what I have.
Well, thank you for your feedback. Daughter Lewis?
It concerns me in some instances, the things that we do within our court, backbiting and hurting people. We need to stop and remember what our purpose was originally, to be decent, kind people, to love one another, and to work toward the better good of the organization instead of always finding fault and tearing things and people down. That's our main problem, kicking people to the curb. One of the things that I hate most of all is when you put somebody in the line and they go through the line and get ready to go to the seat of the commanders and you kick them to the curb. You should have found out before you put them in there and not let them go through all these seats and then when they get to the very top, kick them. That hurts my heart. And I hope we stop doing that. Don't put them in the line if you don't have confidence in them that they can do the job.
Amen.
Well, thank you for that response. And last one is Noble Brown. Would you like to answer the question?
Yeah, one of the things that that specific question came up with the National Association of Black MBAs, which I'm a member of. I look at it as far as the culture. Sometimes we look at ourselves or we're portrayed as crabs in a bucket. Not just the organization as a whole, but just as a people. Until we can get that, change that cultural aspect and that mentality, that will be something that will continue to trend with each generation as a whole. Like Noble Walton said, competition is good. It brings out the best of us. It also shows key differences and key strengths between individuals and the type of leadership traits that you want to have to preserve the future and also the balance of that particular organization. I think that until we change our outlook, revisit our core values, we're going to continue this until we have an honest conversation, because the fact that no matter what organization that you're a part of, you're always going to have backroom deals. Even if a person is qualified, sometimes, popularity does come in the way. Blindsiding as far as what can you do for me if you scratch my back, I scratch your back. But as a whole, I am hopeful that as we do become more wise, more educated, and looking more about the organization than versus ourselves, that some of this mess that new members will see will be reduced. It's not going to be eliminated overnight, but until we truly address the root of the problem, and sometimes the root of the problem is our leadership, because of the fact that they have created that particular culture and it's reinfesting itself, almost like the COVID virus. You know, you just have different variants and different strains of it, but it's still there.
Right.
That we won't particular end it. We can reduce it just by taking one step at a time and then addressing it. All it takes is one strong person who will all begin to address it, and change will come.
Exactly. Good comment. Good comments from each one of you all and stuff. Like I said, competition is good. Good, clean competition and stuff. But also just remember that the thoughts and comments coming from this show is from the individual and not from the Imperial Council. Okay. So, and also remember that according to the Imperial Potentate, as of right now, we cannot have individual temples and courts cannot have a 501c3. So we can take and look at other directions in order to get grants, donations, and sponsorships from organizations and things. Okay. All right.
Okay. So now we're going to go into closing remarks. Because of the sake of time, we're at an hour already. Please keep your comments brief, but final thoughts. Let's start with Daughter Howell.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me to be a part of your program today. And I just want to say to everyone, it should be in your heart. If you belong to an organization, you should give everything that you can give into it, respect the leadership, and do what you're supposed to do. I'm a rule person. I believe in the Constitution and bylaws, and I just believe they should be followed. So do what needs to be done, and let's grow our organization again and make it what it used to be. I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you for that response. And now, Daughter Lewis, we want to keep it as brief as possible, but give us your closing remarks.
Closing remarks. This is a good thing that you're doing. I hope we continue with it. And I think it's going to make a big difference in our organization in the final analysis.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Great. AB, real quick, closing remarks. Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me on this show. I think it's a great platform out to see differences, but also see commonalities as we continue to support our local temples and courts, support our desert and sports, and of course, support our Imperial Council. I think that we will see the change that we all desire within our hearts and our passion for this organization.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Pastor K. Walton.
Hey, thanks again for having me on. It was a great panel. I like the feedback that we gave and we were given. Let's continue to head things in the right direction. And have a great new year.
Hey, thanks.
Thank you.
We coming to y'all next year. We getting our title back.
Well, just to let you all know, just to recap, today's show was brought to you by the Student Aid Program, the Book Bag Pledge fundraiser. Again, this initiative provides 500 or more pre-filled book bags with supplies during our annual session each year. So please scan the QR code and make your pledge. Thank you.
All right. And before we leave out, we're gonna take and rep your temple, rep your court. And even if you're not part of the order, put it in the chat pane so we can rep you too.
Good morning from Ahmed Temple number 37, Desert of Florida. Thank you for tuning in.
Okay, what's up, GJ? We got the Imperial Treasure. Good morning. Honorary Past Imperial Potentate Pierre Rutledge. Imperial Treasure, Temple 149, Oasis of Miami, Desert of Florida.
Next, we have Palestine Court number 49, Oasis of Mobile, Desert of Alabama. Thank you for tuning in.
We have daughter Kim Schreier, second ceremony, daughter out of Moonlight
Mula. Alabama Court number 75, Oasis of Columbus, Desert of Ohio. Thank you for tuning in.
We got Mula again. Who you with?
Mula. We have Palestine Court number 49, Oasis of Mobile, Desert of Alabama. Thank you for tuning in.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for sharing. Honorary Past Commanders Lorraine James, Ahmed Court, 134, Desert of Florida. Yeah.
Represent Florida. Good morning, everyone. We have Al Buquit Court, number 199, out of Oasis of Tuscaloosa, Desert of Alabama. Thank you for tuning in.
We got Tackbeer Court all the way from Hawaii.
Tackbeer, thank you for tuning in. Greetings from Kazaa Court number 117 out of Oasis of Miami, Desert of Florida. Thank you for tuning in.
Michi. We have Desert of Mississippi, RZA Court, RZA.
Thank you for tuning in. Good morning, everyone. Alizal Court, the 181 Oasis of Huntsville, Desert of Alabama. Thank you for tuning in.
Blessings, Nobles, and Daughters from Mesa Temple, number 11. Georgia Strong, baby. Georgia Strong.
Okay, we're going to take 2 comments from our audience. Great panel discussion today. Congratulations and thanks to all the panelists for what you do and have done for our organization. Thank you, Bernell White.
Appreciate that, Dep. Appreciate that. Jawan Avery, thank you all for interaction this morning. We will take conversation had to our 44th Imperial Potentate. Have a great rest of the weekend.
Okay, Daughter Bell, truly enjoyed your esteemed guests and their advice. Looking forward to including their wisdom in the new Daughters informational.
All right, now we got a few birthdays we're going to take and shout out and stuff. First, we have none other than past potentate Thomas Hughes. His birthday was he's out of Kufa, but January the 1st. Happy birthday, sir.
We have the Imperial Outer Guard, Mario Yuri. His birthday was January the 27th. Excuse me, January the 7th. Happy birthday.
I need to clean your glasses over there.
Yes, I do.
Happy birthday, daughter Ernestine Pratt. Her birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday.
And K-Walk, happy birthday. Your birthday was the same date. Happy, happy birthday. It's your birthday. Hey, hey. And now, if you're interested in being spotlighted on the Lotus Show, please send your bio into pr@aeaonms.org. Again, if you're interested in the membership spotlight, please send in your bio to pr@aeaonms.org.
Exactly. And if you have any questions or comments that you want to shoot to us, still send it to that same email address and stuff. We want to thank you all. Thank the panelists for coming on today, our guests and stuff. So with that being said,
we want to thank you again, as he stated. Until next time.
Peace.
Love.
And y'all stay safe now. You heard me?
Stay safe.